Taking a look at that Rocky Mountain starting gate now. And yes, I did say starting gate. We are in Tennessee. Joe Shimoda, the 47 machine, taking the Moto 1 win. It is Seth Hammaker, the 51, taking second place in that first Moto. Third place, looked like that one may have gone to Jarrett Fry, the 34 out of Mechanicsville, Maryland. Fourth place position, that first Moto going to Styles Robertson, the 23. And rounding out the top 5 will be Bryce Hansen out of Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Look for some room for some change in this one as well. Remember, we had a lot of inclement conditions, some riders rising to the occasion while others found some struggles. But I think we'll see it all sorted out here in Moto 2 of the Super Mini 2 13 to 16-year-old class as we say hello and good morning to the Weege himself, Mr. Jason Wygant. Jason, always a pleasure to have you here in the booth with us. The gates is down, and we roll through this first turn of racing now, and the Bell Moto hole shot into the Bell Helmets Forest. Carson Mumford, the number 22 Honda, is going to grab the early lead in this one.
Third place rider just slung it sideways and went down, trying to figure out who that was. Hung a right and then another right after the right on the straightaway and went down. So that's unfortunate for him. But right now, Carson Mumford, well, they gave Carson Mumford that hole shot, but he's already back in fourth. So things got crossed up pretty quickly for him. Styles Robertson to the lead.
Yeah, Robertson finishing fourth in that first Moto. A much better start here, or at least here in this first lap. He's looking a lot stronger than what he did, or not necessarily stronger, but better off at the beginning of the Moto than he did in Moto number 1. I think if memory serves me correct, Robertson was one of those riders that had to battle his way up through the pack just to get into a fourth place position.
And he's got to deal with Lance Kobush in the 99, who's in second. But Kobush did not finish the first Moto, was up front, had a crash, and then he got up. About 2 or 3 laps later, the bike let go, and they had to push that thing back to the pits. So now the battle is on. The 23 of Robertson, the 99 of Kobush. Kobush going to run the outside. Pair of Team Green Kawasaki riders. And Joe Shimoda, your first Moto winner, is right there with them in third. So a great battle.
Oh, yeah, look at this. Shimoda already trying to make that change into the number 2 spot on Kobush, and he makes it happen as they enter the heart of Loretta Lynn's here in the infield around the Big Thor Beach now. And watch Shimoda go. He's already got that first place position of Styles Robertson in his sights, trying to pull the trigger to make it a double kill here on lap number 1. And he does it.
Joe Shimoda from third to first. Are you kidding me?
Crazy, man. And Shimoda, man, this kid came out to race this year. There's no doubt about it.
Well, they all did, Rodney.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
No, he really has stepped up his game.
Yeah,
There's no doubt about it. Joe's been here with us a couple of years and has always been a pretty solid runner, top 10s, top 5s. Now, but this is next level.
Now, Shimoda, he's from Japan, correct?
Yep. Yeah, originally from Japan, has moved to the United States. I think he's here with his mom, but I believe his dad and the rest of the family are still over there. So this is the American motocross dream. They're here for one reason only, so Joe can make a go of it as a racer in the U.S.
That tells you the importance of this particular event right here,
yeah,
and the place that American motocross has in the world. I know a lot of people look at the World Championships, and we do too, as something extremely great, but I really think that the pinnacle of motocross happens to be taking place right here in the United States, and everybody knows if you want to be a part of that, you've got to come over here and get started at this young age.
Man, Shimoda is now starting to wheel away from Robertson and Kobush, and you got Mumford back there in fourth. I mean, those are 3 huge names in amateur racing. Robertson, Kobush, Mumford, and Shimoda's got them covered right now. This is unbelievable as Kobush goes to work on Robertson again. They've been side by side for most of this race. Now it's a battle for second. Kobush doing everything he can to get around.
Wow, I want to look back a little further in the pack, Jason, but it's tough whenever you've got this kind of battling going on right now for that number 2 spot. Robertson under all kinds of pressure.
Whoa.
Here comes Kobush side by side. The drag race is on through the Rocky Mountain Beach area now.
He's got him, Rodney. So Kobush, boy, he put in some work to make that pass happen. About 2 laps it took to make the move on Robertson. So now here's the question. Kobush finally clear of his teammate. Can he run Shimoda's pace? Can we get another battle for the lead? See Robertson, he's looking for an opening to try to return the favor. Well, how about Carson Mumford? He has had a very disappointing week. Lots of bad luck, some crashes at the worst times, and trouble in the mud. This could be Mumford's chance to show what he really has on that number 22.
I tell you, seeing the speed at which Shimoda is running at on that first lap of racing, the time that he made up and the passes that he made so convincingly, and then the gap that he pulled on the second and third place position in that second lap of racing, that leads me to believe that he's going to be tough to track down, even for the likes of Lance Kobush. It's going to take maybe.
Kobush was trying to track him down.
Oh,
And he stops it right in front of his teammate Robertson. Carson Mumford, Aiden Tierro going to try to take advantage.
Wow, that right there, my friend, certainly changes the face of this battle in the top 5. Lickety-split. It also gives Joe Shimoda a much bigger gap to work with there. Heading into this and through this third lap of racing, we were looking at just over 2 seconds between the first and second place position as they wrapped up lap number 2. But now we can say somewhere in the neighborhood of about 6 or 7 seconds between first and second.
Wow. That, as our Racer TV producer told us, now that was a block pass. He literally stopped in the track and blocked him. It wasn't a Supercross-style block pass. It was just a bike in the track. Roadblock pass. Yeah, there was nowhere for Styles Robertson to go. And taking advantage of that, Carson Mumford in the 22, the Amsoil Honda. Let's see if this is the little spark that Mumford needs to get his week back on track. Mumford, first moto, 9th place. Not what he wanted, but he's up to 3rd right now. Aiden Tierro, do not count this guy out. He is putting some serious heat and trying to push Robertson back to 5th. And he's got him around the outside. Man, Styles Robertson, that was not the lap he wanted. First, he gets jammed up behind the downed Kobush. Kobush gets the bike upright, gets back away, and now Robertson has lost 2 more spots. So tough break for Styles.
I'll tell you, a big break in Moto 2, it looks like, for the 6th place ride, the 14, and James McElvain. Just looking through the sheets right here, that 14 machine actually finished 22nd in Moto number 1. He's running in a 6th place, so much better position in that disjuncture in the Super Mini 2. As we said, I expected to see some changes in this second moto with the conditions the way they are.
As you expected, we were seeing some changes in the lap times, the racing technique, the closeness of the gaps. But let me tell you this, Jason and Rodney, only about 5 seconds separating these guys from our 450B class in lap times.
That's crazy. Now, we've seen a 157.094 turn earlier, or 904.
904, yep.
904 turn this morning, and a 158.094 was the other run.
Can you believe this?
What?
2 laps in a row, it has happened to Styles Robertson. Now it's Aiden Tierro who tips over in the rut, and again, Robertson is stuck with nowhere to go.
Wow. What a heartbreaker there as, man, that I don't think that they lost any positions on that one, but Kobush certainly got a bit more of a gap now between the 3rd and 4th place battle of Mumford and Tierro, so Lance Kobush might be able to set his sights on Joe Shimoda, but, man, I'm telling you, a 6+ second lead is going to be tough to track down, especially when that rider's running a 3-second faster lap than everybody else.
You're going to see Styles Robertson at some point, probably at 9 p.m. tonight when no one's watching the track. He's going to go out there, and he's going to put some fireworks inside that rut and blow that thing up. That rut has made 2 riders in front of him crash. It wasn't his fault. He got stuck behind them. He's going to destroy that rut. You will never be back here at the ranch. Tired of this rut. So Robertson goes to work on Tierro again. This is battle 4, 4th and 5th. Yes, 4th and 5th, with Mumford ahead of them in 3rd, Kobush 2nd, Joe Shimoda. Man, it's just going to be serious now. These teams are really going to be looking at Shimoda because most of these riders in this class already have some really good support. Shimoda does have some, but we'll see if the Orange Brigade KTM people want to start talking to him, maybe some of the other manufacturers, because he has gone head-to-head with some of the highly touted talent. He's coming out on top. Robertson trying to get Tierro for 4th.
Well, Jason, you have your thumb on the pulse of the racing society here, and I guess a big question is, what is it that you see sometimes? I mean, we see some kids that I don't want to say maybe they aren't championship quality when they're running through the 85s, 65s, and into the super minis and stuff. But once they get these bigger bikes and things like that, and a switch seems to flip out there, what is it that makes the difference for them out there? You think it's maturity or what?
I think there's a couple things. First of all, you're in this weird stage where these riders are growing and they're different sizes and different heights, and that can obviously change a ton in a year. Joe's pretty darn big, even in his super mini, and mini senior we saw him ride. I mean, could barely even fit on the bike. At times he just had the legs dragging because I think it was easier to do that than try to fit them into those ruts. So the riders obviously grow just physically at different stages. But I also think at this age, it is so hard to match up the level of commitment that everyone's able to put in. In the pro ranks, everyone's doing it full time. Everyone's got trainers. Everyone is on good bikes. All the teams try hard. it's fairly equal across the board. There's not a massacre Kawasaki is doing. All the riders and everyone on the team are full-time going all out. At this age, you never know what's the full commitment. Are they in school? Are they riding every day? Are they riding 2 days a week? Are they riding all winter? How many races are they doing? Are they only doing, maybe here in Mini-O's and Spring National in Texas? Or are they racing, 50 races a year? It's so hard to gauge who's doing what, and I think that's why you see these huge swings. Jordan Bailey was talking about it, had a great run 2 motos ago in the B class. He's like, I went to homeschool, I moved to MTF, and you can see that his riding has stepped up. So the hardest part is for these talent scouts to try to figure that stuff out, to try to figure out, have we seen everything this kid has, or is there another level of commitment he hasn't used yet? And if he does, how's that going to help him?
Yeah, where's it going to take him? Just like Jordan Bailey. I mean, we've seen great things out of him, but since he made that commitment, man, we've even seen that level step up for him.
Sure.
So very good point there, Jason. And right now we are 4 laps, working on 5 laps of the Super Mini 13 to 16 class. Shimoda is enjoying now a 5+ second lead over Kobush, who has 7.5 seconds over Mumford. Styles Robertson is now 7 seconds back after those 2 little mishaps he had right there behind the billboard.
Can't see anybody in those billboards right now, just Shimoda. No real pressure on him. Hey, look at this. Lance Kobush has now put in the fastest lap time in this moto, so he's got it on track. But the problem was Shimoda got past him early while he was battling with Robertson, and then he made that mistake in the billboards, and that has given Shimoda plenty of room to work with. And this track is pretty mint right now. We saw, especially in the mini cycles, a lot of crashes earlier in the week, the small wheels and the big holes in the mud. But a little bit easier for Shimoda to be consistent, although you do see on some of the longer stretches of the track, Kobush back there trying to keep some pressure on.
This has got to be some great incentive for the 99 of Kobush, even though he isn't leading this one. To know the kind of rides he's putting together and the competition he's doing it in, it's got to raise his spirits up a little bit. But the one that is really got to be having the highest of spirits is this 47 of Joe Shimoda. Kid has just been phenomenal all week long. And here in this second moto, I mean, he quickly rose to the occasion to battle for that number 1 spot, passing from 3rd place in the last couple of turns right up into the number 1 spot. Very impressive ride he put together out there as we wrap up. We're working on lap number 6 right now. We'll run down the top 20 quickly for you to let you know how that's shaping up after 5 laps. It was Shimoda, Kobush, Mumford, Tiero, Torres in the number 5 spot, then Hammaker in the number 6, McElvain 7th, Joshua Gibbs in 8th. Looks like Marsalis in the number 9 spot, and Valderrama in 10th. 11th was Logan Boy. 12th was Cody Groves. 13th, Levi Kitchen. 14th, TJ Usselman. 15th, Kimball Jett. Zachary Dobbs. And 16th, 17th, Tyson Johnson. 18th is LaCour. And 20th, we'll call Tyler Evans.
Shot caller. Hey, tough break. Styles Robertson, he ran through that top 20 rundown. You wouldn't have heard his name. We saw him pushing the bike off in this turn right here, last turn on the track.
I thought something seemed different about that.
Yeah, he was battling with Tiero there for that 4th and 5th place spot, and now his race is over. So Styles Robertson, man, 4th in the first moto, a DNF here in Moto 2. He's got to be bummed. Remember, he was leading this thing on the first lap, so tough break for Robertson.
Wow, that is a tough pill to swallow, I'm sure, but that means he's taking the gloves off in Moto 3, I bet, in this Super Mini class. So be looking for something pretty exciting to come out of that rider Styles Robertson.
Hey, I'll tell you who's taking the gloves off. It's the, I believe it's the Amsoil last lap here. But Lance Kobush, he has really picked up the pace late in this race and has caught Joe Shimoda.
Wow.
He's in the band about, I'd say, 10 bike lengths. You'll see them right here on RacerTV.com. Kobush has got this track figured out here.
He does. It was a 3-second gap as they headed into this lap right here, Jason, down from nearly 6 seconds. And look, he keeps closing up on him. The question is, does Shimoda even know he's coming at this point?
Yeah, I don't know. That's strange to see a race where one rider pulls away from the other guy. I mean, remember, Shimoda passed Kobush at the beginning of this race, so it seemed like he was the faster guy. Now in the latter stages, Kobush is clearly the faster guy. I don't know, though, if Kobush is going to have time to make it happen because we're only about 3 turns away from the checkered flag.
Well, I can tell you this much. He's got some great incentive to head into Moto number 3 with, and though Kobush is a little behind as far as the championship is concerned with that DNF.
Yeah.
This second place position is going to make, I think, for a lot of noise in this Super Mini 2 class. And look how close he is closing up as we head to the final turn and the checker flag. Joe Shimoda will hang on to it, but you got to tip the hat there to Lance Kobush as he really put the drive in the last couple of laps, made up a lot of time. And you have to think one more lap in that race, it might have been a whole different finish.
I think Kobush is getting taller each day here at the ranch, getting less and less able to fit on that Super Mini. Looks huge on that bike.
It amassed a 21-second lead over third place. Carson Mumford coming in the number 3 spot here at the end of Moto 2. He finished 9th in Moto 1, so a great turnaround for that rider right there.
So Joe Shimoda sitting on a 1-1.
So
that's a pair of pocket aces as he goes into the third Moto.
And the guys closest to him in this Moto, a DNF in Moto number 1 for Kobush, and Mumford, again, a 9th place finish. So you look at, man, he's got a lot of room for comfort out there.
What? Shimoda, I believe he did this in the first Moto. I don't know if he's missing the checkered flag or they're not throwing the checkered flag, but he's out there on a victory lap. So he crossed all the way, Kevin Kelly saying, he crossed all the way on the left side and didn't see the checkered flag there on the right. He did that in another Moto earlier in the week. I'm not sure if it was in this class or not, but all right, Joe Shimoda going out on a victory tour, just like the Jackson 5 back in 1983, the Jackson U.S. Victory Tour. Tito was a big part of that, Jermaine. And Joe Shimoda, hope they got enough gas on that bike, get all the way back to the podium. Maybe Joe found out that Megawatt was doing the podiums and is just trying to find a way to avoid it. Just staying out of there. Right now he's trying to come up with another excuse. I already didn't see the checkered flag. I don't speak English. Try that. Yeah, Joe, I mentioned it a few times on our show, but Joe really came to prominence at Ricky Carmichael Amateur Supercross at Daytona. But on the podium there, he told me no speech. No speech. And the people around him are like, he could do it. He's just nervous. He could speak English well enough. And Shimoda just crossed the finish line for the 2nd time in this race.
Maybe he just likes being that much of a winner, man.
And then, yeah, he wants to get that feeling twice. So here we are, 5 months after Daytona, which was in March.
He speaks better English than I do.
Yeah, he just come up here in the tower. And the same people, I'm like, so is someone going to have to come and talk for him? They're like, no. He's stepped up. He's going to do the speeches this week. And he has. He's actually done pretty well on the podium. So good job, Joe, learning English, coming from Japan. There he is, putting some extra mileage on that bike. Yeah, look at the riding gear. What?
I think they're talking about that checker flag, that extra lap. He said, I thought I had one more lap, is what it looked like he was telling this mechanic there. But hey, it doesn't matter, man. He's a winner, no matter how many times he takes a checker here.
Yes. And the white pants.
How clean they are. Look how clean they are.
Yeah, you're making a statement. You go out there saying, I'm not going to get dirty. I'm going to be good to go. All right, we'll wait on Megawatt Matt Watson here on the Race Tech post-race interview at RacerTV.com. And we'll talk to our Super Mini 2 top 3, which is going to be Carson Mumford 3rd, Lance Kobush 2nd, Joe Shimoda with the win, and I believe Carson Mumford also with the Bell Helmets Whole Shot Award.
Our final race of Moto 2, the 250C, coming up here in just a couple moments. Right now, it's our Race Tech podium.
All right, guys, we're going to be just a second. We got to get a couple things straightened out down here. Just going to be one moment before we do make our way up on the podium. Got some hardware making its way down. Got a couple guys getting squared away right now. So just one moment. We'll get this podium underway. Rodney, what do we look at like on our time right now? How we moving along through the program? Looks like we're making up some time, getting back on order right now, and just about 4 races should be able to make this thing back up, get our time closed. So making our way up to the podium right now. Going to talk to our winner, of course, Joe Shimoda. 2nd place, Lance Kobush, and 3rd place, Carson Mumford. All right, looks like we got everything just about straightened out down here. So time to get back up on that podium, get this show on the road. All right, congratulations to our winner, Joe Shimoda. Joe, unbelievable race out there, man. Looked like a little bit of pressure on you, but you answered all the challenges. You rose to the occasion, made a nice margin for yourself by the end of the race. You have to be pleased with that. One second, let him get his throat cleared there. Tough race right there. Got to get his composure regained here for a second. How was the race, Joe?
It was good. I got off start like 5th, and then I don't know. I don't remember that much.
You looked really focused and concentrated. You looked like you made no mistakes out there, and that's the way you were able to put that gap on them.
Yeah, just keep momentum to the end, like push all the way hard as I can. Yeah.
And that results in a win here today. I know you have some people you want to say thank you to. Who are some of the sponsors you'd like to thank, Joe?
I like thanks to my mom and dad, my mechanic Cameron, my trainer Yanning, FMF I ride, 100%, Nihilo, Henson, Dunlop, DID. Thank you so much.
All right, put your hands together for Joe Shimoda. A great ride out there in a super competitive class. We're going to get our second place rider up here right now, Lance Kobush. Lance, come on up here, buddy. Our second place finisher here in our super mini class. Lance, man, an unbelievable ride. Come on up here, boss. An unbelievable ride. Looked like he was just about on the edge a few times right there, able to reel it back in. Looked like he run into maybe a couple lappers, some riders in the way out there a couple times. But nonetheless, second place here right now. Tell us a little bit about that race.
I crashed the one before pretty bad, hit my head, and was a little loopy, but I had a way outside gate, and, you know, just came out there and held it on, and Carson came up the inside, and we got kind of close, and I got pinched, and going into the next turn. Then after that, I made a bobble, hit neutral in the back, and Joe got around, and then after that, just tried to go keep it on 2 wheels and keep moving forward. It's a long moto, and I leaned it over real far, and it pulled in my clutch, and then Styles hit me, so that kind of messed up both of us, but got going and was catching them, but moto wasn't quite long enough.
Well, I know one thing. You guys made it exciting. I know you have a bunch of people you want to say thank you to.
Oh, yeah. Monster Energy Kawasaki, Team Green, Monster, Pro Circuit, Thor, 100%, Dunlop, Shoei, Alpine Star, Ethica, iLab, AP Designs, Install Graphics, Renthal, The Man Up Above, Friends, Family, Mom and Dad, everybody. And I'm kind of hungry, so I'm going to head over to M&M Concession and get some food, all right?
Wow, how about that obligatory plug right there? So great job. Lance Kobush going to make his way over and grab some lunch from M&M.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get our third place rider up here, Carson Mumford. Come on up, Carson. Come on up here, big guy. Standing over there catching his breath, taking in the sights, checking out the start. Carson Mumford, third place here this morning. Tell us how we made that happen, Carson.
Well, my Dunlop tires got me off to a great start, and made a few mistakes there on the first lap. A couple guys got by me, and then Lance laid it over in a turn, and Robertson right behind him, and I ended up getting around Robertson right there, put me in the third, and we just tried to ride a smooth race and bring her home.
Well, I tell you this, you did run a smooth race, an impressive pace by you guys. You guys were only about 4 to 5 seconds off of those 450B lap times by the end of the race, so impressive. Did you feel like you were going that fast?
We were just trying to hit our marks. The track's really good right now, and it's pretty smooth and really tacky, so yeah, no complaints about the track. Super awesome, and hopefully it'll be good next moto.
Who you want to send the love to today?
Amsoil, Factory Connection, Honda, my mom and dad, 60, Malcolm Stewart's out here giving me good lines, my mechanic Christian and Sean, Kibby, Ziggy, Mike LaRocco, my agent Russ, Alpine Star, Alias, X Dubai, DC, Team Dunlop, Rob Fox, and everybody I forgot. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Great job, Carson Mumford, third place today. And our whole shot winner is, Carson Mumford. Okay. Congratulations, man. On behalf of Bell, here's your $100 whole shot award for getting off to the #1 position there, Carson Mumford. Back up to you guys in the tower.